Alright, so I honestly was not planning on making this video, but I feel like it just is just appropriate considering an appropriate way to close out the year. Just from my perspective and whatnot, because it just adds more editing stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to do this. I'm seeing, some of my favorite YouTubers kind of do this. I kind of want to hop onto the train. And I think at this point we can all acknowledge that, that 2020 was kind of a shit show of a year, and in revealing the character of many people, whether it's good or bad, but we were, as a collective, we faced through some shit at the same time. Wherever you are in the world, I hope with everything that's happened, I hope you are doing well and you're and are safe and are in a good place in your life, and that at least that you and your loved ones are taken care of. So I'm hoping that you guys are safe and more before anything. So if you're wondering what that is, I'm watching Alice in Borderland. So, but before, and I was just kind of like going through this. So what I'm essentially going to do is kind of like run through like a list of questions I go with my kind of company Vision Paradox, kind of like to help me get help give me a guideline in terms of things I want to reflect on and share with you guys as I'm going through it, and kind of like that way I try to avoid rambling, because I feel like I can start like multiple different threads of stories, and hopefully I'm trying to avoid making like a 20-minute video. And a couple other things that I saw from Instagram. We're not really strangers. So the first question I normally ask them is like, in my meetings, are what are we grateful for? And we do this every week. What I'm grateful for in the year 2020 is Maxine got to come visit me this year. I also got to visit her right after Christmas. After I visited my mom, I did a surprise secret trip to go visit her for her birthday. She didn't know that, and it was a nice surprise, and I got to meet her family and spend New Year's with her and hang out with her friends. And then not too long after that, she came over and came to LA, and we got to spend time together. So it was nice to be able to spend time with her. It does suck that I couldn't spend time with her like the later half of the year, because obvious reasons. Shit, making it through the year, because I know it's been a challenging one for many of us. My family still being healthy, as far as I know. My mom kind of had a scare earlier this year in terms of like her blood pressure, and I was freaking out a little bit. My siblings and I were freaking out a little bit because she was like, we called her, she was not making sense in what she was saying. And it turns out it was just like her blood pressure was crazy high, and we were worried about her spending time at a hospital, because that's when COVID was just, all the lockdown and everything was just starting to happen. Grateful for both companies in Vision Paradox and Temper Tantrum. I love the camaraderie that we built when working with each other. I love that they get their as a boss, they get their deadlines done. But I also love the energy and the effort that they put in with what they can, which is what I'm grateful for. And I obviously it would be frustrating if I was working with people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, I'm just grateful for them. They're good energy, they're good people, and I feel like that's important, especially when you're working on things, to be with people who are going to be at the same level, not the same level of like maybe not skill, but the same level of understanding of how important certain things are, because not everyone's going to have the same level of passion, not everyone's going to have the same level of skill whatnot, but if everyone was on the same mindset and understanding and on the same page on that set, in that respect, I think the skills and all the other stuff can be figured out along the way, because ultimately the people you work with to create these projects, you gotta have at least some level of respect with them, because if you can't stand them, fuck them. Still, the other one is still being able to make content in terms of YouTube, still being able to take care of my family, still being able to pay bills and all that stuff, because I know it was rough for a lot of us. So I would consider myself lucky in some respect, because a lot of my business already was online. So people transitioning to the whole online world, what is like, I feel like they're kind of like trying to figure that out, while in the meantime I've had Vision Paradox for almost 4 years now. So it's like nothing new. It's just trying to figure, like, all I have to do is less meetings. I don't have to pick up Jordan off from school. So it's just adjusting minor things here. But so I'm grateful that VP, for the most part, Vision Paradox, was able to, I'd say, like, get through the tough times, especially in the beginning of the pandemic. And I know that's this whole, like, a lot of people are having a tough time with finances. So for the business to still be able to keep going, I'm grateful for that. And grateful that I was still able to get Temper Tantrum back up again, because after all that, like when the pandemic hit, lockdown hit, like I took a break from Temper Tantrum and kind of took a minute for me to get back on the horse of that, so to speak, because I was so busy trying to make sure that VP was good to go. So those are some of the things I'm grateful for. So normally it's like one thing I'm grateful for, but I don't think one sentence is enough to encapsulate the many things that happened. So because I know there's like a lot of the crazy shit that happened, but I want to take this as a moment to like share, the positive things, the good things that happened. So, last thing, grateful for the Kickstarter getting fully funded, like literally at the last minute. I'm filming this at December 31st, the last day of the new year, literally like fucking 4 hours away from the ball dropping. So grateful for that, everyone who supported it, the team, everyone. So that goes into the next question: what are the biggest wins? Getting the Kickstarter fully funded last minute is a big win. Filming the 2 Temper Tantrum projects, big win. Great. It was amazing just to dance and be with everyone again, just to feel everyone's energy, just to have that kind of camaraderie. Getting to work with Songfinch to create an amazing original song for Maxine and a kind of our love story, so to speak, for our relationship, and make a cool video out of that. The other one is getting my YouTube to 20K. Was not expecting that. Like literally on my board, like the last quarter goal was to get 20K subs, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna happen, because I was floating around 8K in September. Then I decided to do reaction videos. Bam, blew up. So that was pretty cool. So grateful for everyone who's enjoying the content. And the other big one is Maxine visiting. So that's one of the things I'm grateful for. And yeah, just being here, being able to continue to do what I'm doing. So I'd say those are some big wins. So the next thing is the biggest lessons from 2020. I feel like there's a lot of lessons that we can all take away, but if I can just narrow it down to 3, it would be the first one: when man plans, God laughs. I remember at the end of 2019, everyone was like 2020 vision, all these fucking memes and shit. And then everyone had all these plans. Everyone had all these, like, it's like the chosen year. Every fucking holiday like fell on a Friday. It was going to be like 2020 is going to be lit and all that shit. And then 2020 came. Completely different thing. Revealed so much more about ourselves that we probably might not have taken a look at otherwise. So when man plans, God laughs, because God sure as hell has a different idea of how you're going to be molded as a person. If you believe in that, or if you're the type of person who believes in the universe, or whatever you believe in. But either way, it's just like my belief of like life. You might have a plan, but life doesn't give a shit about your plans. Life's gonna fucking throw you over, fucking hit you in the face, and you're not gonna like it. And it's always, for me, the opportunity for your character to show up in terms of like your grit, what you're willing to do to adjust, to adjust to make things happen, to how do you grow, what's the lesson you need to extract from it. So it's definitely been that kind of year. So the next thing is doing the right thing means getting over yourself. It's not always going to be convenient, and I just couldn't stand like the amount of people complaining over simple fucking shit. God damn. Like it's like, just because it's an inconvenience doesn't mean you're oppressed or anything like that. So it's just the lack of consideration from some people, and and it just goes to show like not everyone's willing to do the right thing, even though it's simple. So, but yeah, doing the right thing means getting over yourself, getting over your ego, because it's not about you, it's about everybody. And the next one is like being grateful for what you have, because if you're not grateful for what you have now, what makes you think you're going to be grateful for what you have later? I mean, and I think that lesson has been really drilled in a lot more, like post 2013, like when I learned, like that was really like one of my 2013, 2014. Those were really like tough lessons, where the only thing that kept me going through in a tough time was gratitude, because I was here. I had my family. They were supporting me, and I'm even through this now. Like, I'm grateful that my family's healthy. I get to play with my son every weekend. I get to spend time with my girlfriend, that she's okay. Just the fact that just being grateful for those things helps ground me, because it's like you never, based off this whole year, you never know who's going to be gone. I know, like, some people like, and honestly, this whole thing is getting really close. I'm like literally like 1 degree of such separation of it actually affecting me, and I know these people that have passed. So it's just crazy. So just being grateful. Like, I'm glad I have a roof over my head. I was able to get a new car and whatnot when my other car was breaking down. So just being grateful, because I feel like that, like I said, keeps me grounded as I take these steps forward. Because, you know, we have a lot of ideas and projections of what we want in life, and obviously we take steps towards it. But, you know, if we get too high or too low, it's hard to make progress. You know, it's hard to make progress because we're constantly, you know, shifting. Our emotions are shifting, and we're constantly up and down. It's like being grounded helps us stay centered and focused, and I'd say disciplined as we take these steps, because there's, like I said, as much as we have plans, you know, God laughs, and we're gonna be throwing a lot of curveballs. And the only way the first step in getting out of a funk, or when life throws some bad shit, some shit at you, is find some gratitude, and then learn the lesson, and then adjust. So, okay. So I guess this video is gonna be a little as long as the other ones I've been watching. So, what I'm currently working on for moving forward into 2020, like 2021, taking from here on. Vision Paradox, still aiming to continue providing the service for our clients, gaining new ones, keeping the crew steady as much as possible, grow obviously financially. Like, I'd love to make it into a 6-figure company next year. But yeah, a lot of it is just really consistency with that. It's just service, provide it, execute it, good teamwork on everything. New project with Temper Tantrum. So that's the kind of, like, it's practically like a dance production company where we film and we create stuff. So we have a lot of projects on what do you call it, on the plate, or on the list that we want to get through. It's just a matter of getting through the pandemic, everyone becoming safe, and then we can move forward. And what else is there? And pay off my car, preferably soon, because I had to get it because the other car was breaking down, and the other one's moved to a new place, maybe by the end of the year, because I was planning on moving December, January, but the fucking lockdown and it's just not safe. I don't want to move in the middle of shit going sideways. So hopefully move to a new place by the end of the year. So next question, and these upcoming questions aren't exactly were inspired by We're Not Really Strangers. So who are the most impactful people in my life? Jordan, for sure. Just as grounding to be a dad, because it's nice to, when I'm hanging out with him, like, especially, or just hanging out with my loved ones in general, like when I'm not working, it's just nice to feel the world melt away. So it's nice just to be a dad and hang out. It's very grounding. It's weird because I feel like it's one of those things that my mom said, like, you'll know when you're a parent. I get it now, because there's a level of love that I didn't know exist before. So yeah, and I just love being a dad. So just spending time with him, and then spending time with Max. Max being like such a rock for me through my tough times, and just being supportive and taking the initiative and helping me out. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I appreciate that. I don't know if I've ever experienced that with anyone else. So I'm super grateful for, like, helping me in all the ways she can, and I'm hoping, that I'm, hopefully I'm not that bad of a boyfriend myself. The other person is Steph, my son's mom. We were co-parenting, so we're still like really close friends. So it's just nice to have, I guess, a good friendship of someone who can, like, who supports me in the same sense as Max. Like, she gets it, like, in terms of like what I've been through, like not what I've been through, but like of the challenges, because like obviously I tell both of them. But it's also cool to know someone that's kind of like seen who knows me, like who's seen the previous me and now. And this also is transitioning to the other friend, a person I'm grateful for, is Mark, who's one of my closest friends since like fucking middle school. So it's cool to still be friends, because I don't really hang out with that many people, but it's nice to be still friends with people who've known you before and seen the evolution. So it's cool because and then they accept it and they acknowledge it and then they support you and they love you for as you grow. Because some people who see you grow try to hold crabs in the bucket. They try to hold you back, or say, nah, that's not how you are. Like, why are you trying to be fake and all that shit? So it's nice to have like friends who've evolved along with you. So another one is my best friend sometimes, Lizelle Marie. Shouts out to her for always inviting me to projects and supporting me in the arts and kind of pushing me to to perform on stage with my own choreography, which is something I avoided for a long time. Other ones are Crystal and Brandon, the other members of the Temper Tantrum directorship. They've been super supportive, a great soundboard and trying to help me organize my thoughts, and just good to have them being supportive and making this whole thing happen. So, and then speaking of whole thing, shouts out and the people from VP and Temper Tantrum. They've been impactful in my life as well. It's the energy. I just love the kind of community we've created, being supportive with each other and however it may be, the arts, some actual real world problems, some real shit, dancing, and it's just nice to be surrounded with people that care and that aren't just, I don't know. At least I hope it feels that way to me. So, one word to describe 2020: grit. You had to or perseverance, because it was not easy. You had to have a lot of grit to keep working, or you had to persevere through a lot of fucking bullshit. One thing I can thank myself for through 2020 is never giving up, persevering, being stubborn, and kind of learning how to be I feel like I got better at asking for help when I needed it, because I have a tendency to take the things on my own a lot of the time. So, but I feel better when I need to talk. I try to talk with Max. If I'm really having a hard time trying to figure something out about myself, I talk to my therapist. So yeah, moving forward into 2021. Any specific goals I have in mind? Not yet. I do a quarterly, yearly thing. I got a review, but I do have a theme. And the theme for 2020, just to give context, was really amplify, try to build my personal brand more. And I think the last quarter of it really blew up. Now I have you guys watching on YouTube, kind of, I guess, a community watching. It's really cool. So it's building a personal brand on that end, trying to amplify many things and trying to what I'm doing in terms of the personal brand, which is which is ultimately being able to get paid to create these type of content, make decent AdSense revenue from my YouTube videos, albeit a lot of it gets blocked because it's copyrighted content. But shout out to everyone on the Patreon. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, but in terms of theme for 2021, I'd say steady amplification. I feel I'm starting to it's starting to get there. It's, but now it's more okay, let's keep it steady. Let's keep it going. Try not to get too high or too low kind of thing. Cause this everything that's happening is energy. And I enjoy the process, yet at the same time stay focused. I can either do that or I overwhelm myself by trying to do too much. So I'm trying to find myself a nice steady pace. That's why I say steady amplification, because it's a lot of energy, and I don't want to. Last thing I want to do is kind of overwhelm myself with all the opportunity, or even the fear of the responsibility of the opportunity, because some people are afraid of failure, some people are afraid of of success, or some people are afraid of responsibility that comes with it, because it sounds weird, but that's one of the things I sometimes avoid. I avoided Temper Tantrum for creating my second company, Temper Tantrum, for a while, because that involves a lot of responsibility and more time that I just wasn't sure if I could give. But lo and behold, yeah. The last thing is one thing I want to do more that I didn't throughout 2020: rest and hopefully travel, because I had plans this year to go see my mom, dad, and Maxine, and it was gonna be visiting my mom and dad would be a good 2-week trip in the summer, spending a week in Colorado, then Wisconsin, and then take Jordan back and then hang out in New Jersey, and hopefully go see my family in the Philippines. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just kind of me wrapping up 2020. I know there's a lot. It's easy to to acknowledge the bullshit that's happened, but I think it's just as important to close out the year with kind of the questions to get you to kind of reflect, that it wasn't all bad, or to even just acknowledge the some of the good that happened, even if it's just like being able to be at home with your family safely. That's still good, because some people didn't have that pleasure. Some people didn't have that luxury. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys do, you know what to do. Hit like and subscribe. Share this with friends who you think might find this, entertaining or useful and whatnot. But with that, this video is probably going to come out tomorrow on the 1st of January. So I appreciate you guys for watching and all the support this year and the growth. And here's to more throughout 2021. Here's to a much safer year, a better year, and a much more safe and sane year next year, and begin this new chapter of 2021. But anyways, appreciate you guys for watching and letting me share with you guys. Appreciate you. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna continue watching some Alice in Borderland.